So as we get closer and closer to October, it's time to start preparing our watch lists for what spooky movies we are planning on watching in October. So I got a list here of 75 must-watch spooky movies for the Halloween season. So get out your pen, your paper, or if you're living in the world 2023 or in the year 2023 like the rest of us, get out your note app on your iPhone and let's do this. So I'm Nick Push, and I thought it might be fun to kind of talk about a list of movies that everyone should watch this October. So do me a favor, tell me in the comments, do you guys have any must-watch movies that you have to watch every October, every Halloween season that, without fail, you always put on? Tell me in the comments that, and also, I'm going to read an article here that lists 75 movies for spooky season. Tell me what you think of the list. Is it terrible? Is it good? What are they missing? Did they think of anything you forgot? So, without further ado, that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull up this article here right now, and we're going to go through this together. This is from the Today Show, actually. 75 classic Halloween movies for a spooky night in. Now, I think this is mostly geared towards the every person, right? Not people that are obsessed with horror movies and like blood, guts, gore, all that shit. This is probably a general list, and I think we're going to see that in the list. Full disclosure, I haven't looked at this list yet. I thought it might be good to go in blind. So let's go through it and let's see what we see. Okay? Like I said, comment below what you think of the list. All right, let's go through here. Obviously, we got a picture of the Sanderson sisters here. That's what tells me this is a general list for the movie-going audience, or movie streaming audience in this case. All right, let's go through it here. We're not going to read. We're just going to get to the list. We're starting right off with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Okay, nothing against Harry Potter fans. I'm not really one of them. I understand what they mean to popular culture and all that, but this is not how I would start this list. Not really. I don't even know if it's set at Halloween. I've never seen it. So let's continue. I assume it is. All right, The Craft. Okay, Craft, a classic 90s spooky movie. It's got a great cast. Nev Campbell, Skeet Ulrich are in this. A 1996 movie with Nev Campbell and Skeet. I assume I'm going to be able to say that again at some point. Let's keep going. There's 75 of these. Here we go. Now we're talking Trick or Treat. This movie is just bathed in Halloween atmosphere. If you guys have never seen this movie, I would highly, highly encourage you to see it. You want to watch a movie that feels like the season of Halloween, this is the best. I'm telling you right now. Let's continue. Creepshow from 1982. All right, that's a good pull. Creepshow's great. I haven't seen that in forever. All right, here we go. Haunted Mansion from 2003. So not the new one that came out earlier this year, but the Eddie Murphy one. This is a goofy movie, but it's got a certain charm to it, especially if you're growing up in this time period. Obviously it's based off of the ride at Disney, and, it's not scary. It's got Jennifer Tilly, too, in it. It's not scary, but it's a fun movie. If you got kids, I would encourage you to sit down and watch this with them. Addams Family Values. See, this is a movie I always watch around Thanksgiving, because there's a lot of Thanksgiving themes, especially with the summer camp they go to. So I get it, but for me, that's more of a Thanksgiving movie. Psycho from 1960. Now we're talking classics. Yep, Psycho is fantastic. Us, Jordan Peele's Us from 2019. I liked this movie a lot, but I didn't love it. I would have liked this if they would have kept it in the smaller scale of just being the family, not trying to shove a message down our throat about the entire world and have it going on in the entire world. I liked the small scale aspect of, the first 2/3 of the movie. But Us is good. Midsommar. This is another one I'd watch in the summer. Maybe because a lot of these people, don't watch horror movies year round like I do and a lot of you viewers do. So that I kind of have movies I watch in the winter, movies I watch in the summer, and stuff like that. This is probably for people that only watch horror movies, in October, in September and October. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark from 2019. Still haven't seen this. I'd like to see it. I think it's PG-13 if I'm not mistaken. Then we got Lee Winnell's The Invisible Man from 2020. Lee Winnell's great. He is great. Let me tell you something. Insidious Chapter 3, directed by Lee Winnell. Holy shit. That might be my favorite Insidious movie, to be honest with you. Let's continue on. Ready or Not from 2019. Still a movie I'm embarrassed to say I haven't seen. A lot of critical acclaim. A lot of people telling me how great it is, and I believe them. I just got to sit my ass down and watch it. Have you guys seen Ready or Not? Is it as good as people are saying? Casper. That's another fun kids movie, right? Like, you got to have some kids movies in here, especially if you have family. And even if you don't, just for that nostalgia feeling around Halloween. Casper's great. Devin Saw, Christina Ricci. It's great. You're going to go watch Casper one night, then the next night go with The Exorcist. Yeah, obviously The Exorcist is fucking great. Candyman from 2021. I haven't seen this one. I'm a big fan of the original in the early 90s, but I haven't seen Candyman 2021. Practical Magic, another fun movie. Actually, the first time watch for me was a few months ago. Good cast. You got Sandra Bullock here. It's another fun movie, but it's got a lot of heart. It's kind of heartbreaking too at certain points. Get Out from 2017. Jordan Peele again. This has become a modern classic. Annabelle. I haven't seen any of the Annabelle movies. Another one that I'm just kind of embarrassed to say. Or another thing I'm embarrassed to say as a horror fan, I haven't seen Annabelle's. But I've heard the original, or the second one is actually better than the original from 2014. Silence of the Lambs from 1991. Oh yeah, this movie, this is a hell of a psychological thriller. Definitely a good one. Speaking of fucking psychological movies, Hereditary is fucking jaw-dropping. Ari Aster here just became a master at, starting with this movie, at creating that uneasy feeling. So Hereditary is fantastic. Here we go. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown from 1966. This is classic. See, we're getting a good mix of horrifying movies and fun, lighthearted Halloween movies. I like that shit. I know I'm like Mr. Horror movies and, atmosphere and all that, but it's nice to watch lighthearted Halloween stuff too. The Shining from 1980. See, this is another movie, like I was saying earlier. I watch this in the winter time because it's based in the winter. They're snowed in. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But I'm going to save this for December, probably January, to be honest. But if you're not a horror hound like me, or you watching this, maybe you'll watch it, in October. Nothing wrong with that. The Ring from 2002. That is a classic, creepy movie. One of the better ones from that era. Here we go. Here's what I was talking about. Skeet and Nev again. Scream 1996. You guys know how I feel about Scream. One of the best horror movies of all time. Halloween Town. See, I like this mix it has here. This is good. This might not be a great list for, like I said, for us to be like underrated horror movies and all kinds of shit like that. But it's a good mix of, your spooky season here. Of giving you the different emotions. Halloween Town's great. Halloween 1978. Never heard of it. The Nightmare Before Christmas. This could be a Christmas movie, could be a Halloween movie. Tim Burton, obviously. Another classic. Child's Play, which apparently, according to this article, came out in 1972. Might want to fact check that. Okay. How the fuck does that happen? It's not 1989, right? It's not 1990. It says 1972. It came out in 88, by the way. Not even close. But yeah, Child's Play. Speaking of 88, Beetlejuice, Michael Keaton. We got a sequel coming up to this movie with Tim Burton, Jenna Ortega. I'm excited to see that. Should be good. Hopefully. Friday the 13th, 1980. This is a summer movie for me, but as I digress, like I said earlier, same logic applies. Obviously, I love Friday the 13th. The Amityville Horror from 1979. So not the Ryan Reynolds one. The OG here. I think the OG is better. But I know there's a lot of people that love Ryan Reynolds and love Ryan Reynolds with his shirt off and all kinds of stuff like that. So I get it. Here we go. Carrie from 1976. Yep. God, I love Stephen King movies. And Carrie, I think, was the first Stephen King movie ever adapted to a film. I could be wrong on that. I stand to be corrected, but I think so. And Carrie is really fucking well done. Coraline from 2009. This is actually a good movie. If you guys haven't seen Coraline, don't let the fact that it's a cartoon fool you. It's got some really creepy undertones and creepy stuff. It is good. I will stand by saying Coraline is a very good movie. Sleepy Hollow. More Tim Burton here, more Johnny Depp. Sleepy Hollow is another movie that's just bathed in atmosphere and creepy tones and vibes and all that. Extremely well done. The Rocky Horror Picture Show, an absolute classic. Tim Curry is fantastic in this. And then we got the It movies from 2017 and 2019. I prefer the 1990 miniseries. I think the It Chapter 1 is fantastic. I think It Chapter 2 is garbage, to be honest. Not garbage, but it's a big step down. And that's the problem with the adaptations of It, is the second half, doesn't hold a candle to the first half in both iterations. But yeah, it is awesome. A Quiet Place from 2018. This was a very novel concept at the time. Pretty cool, very well done, and very creepy. It has a hell of an opening scene as well. Paranormal Activity from 2007. This spawned a huge fucking franchise, which is crazy to me. But Paranormal Activity, the original, I think is really creepy. It's good that that's on this list. Poltergeist from 1982, one of my favorite horror movies of all time. One of the movies that helped introduce me to becoming a horror fan. It wasn't the movie, but it's one of the ones that I saw as a kid, and it still fucking holds up to this day. Poltergeist is fucking incredible. Blair Witch Project from 99, another good one. Talk about marketing. This movie did it right. Crazy marketing with this movie. The Conjuring from 2013, one of the best horror movies in the last 25 years, in my opinion. James Wan's a master, and he is at his best in this movie. Nightmare on Elm Street. You gotta watch A Nightmare on Elm Street when you're watching horror movies, and it's gotta be on any horror list. Freddy Krueger. Need I say more? Young Frankenstein from 1974, a movie that's probably overlooked a little bit, but it's a fucking classic for a reason. Young Frankenstein, I haven't seen that in forever. I'm glad they put that on here. Hocus Pocus, they had a sequel last year, and we started out the article with a picture of the Sanderson sisters. Hocus Pocus is a classic. Another one, if you got kids, show them this movie. If you were growing up as a kid when this came out, like I was, it's a classic. Bram Stoker's Dracula, a movie that probably deserves a little more attention these days. I feel like this is forgotten. It's got some great performances. Not by Keanu, but it's got some great performances. The Haunting from 1999. I won't call this great. I remember this and A House on Haunted Hill came out pretty close together. And I'm a bigger fan of A House on Haunted Hill, but The Haunting's a fun movie. It's got Liam Neeson in it, too. Ghostbusters. Yeah, who are you going to call? Right? What more needs to be said? It's fucking Ghostbusters. One of the most classic and pop culture inducing films in cinema history. Edward Scissorhands, a lot of Tim Burton on here, as expected. Johnny Depp and Tim Burton apparently are like this because they do everything together. But Edward Scissorhands is an interesting movie, and I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I understand its significance, and I understand that it's a good movie just because it's not for me. The Witches from 2020, never heard of this one. So if you've seen The Witches, let me know in the comments if it's worth checking out. I will read up on it, but I'm interested. The original Addams Family from 1991. I love this movie. I know Addams Family Values is probably a more fun movie, but the original Addams Family live action here, film, it's fucking good. Great performances all around, amazing casting, and I just think it's really well done. And that's it. So tell me in the comments, guys, like I said, what is on your list to watch this October? Is there any blatant misses that this article missed? Like I said, it had a good mix of family-friendly movies and horror movies, which is what I was hoping it was going to have because, it's good to have other Halloween movies. One big miss that I would say, speaking of family-friendly movies, is Hubie Halloween, the Adam Sandler movie. Call me crazy, guys. Call me crazy. I love that movie. I'm a big Adam Sandler guy, and I think it was really well done. I think it's a really sweet movie with a lot of heart, and it captures the Halloween atmosphere in Salem, Massachusetts. So that's a movie that I think of when I think Halloween as far as recent movies, besides your blood and guts, scary horror movies. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.